Toddy, God Almighty. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. I'm your host, Law Smith. I'm a comedian. I'm a small business consultant and digital strategist. Wear many hats. That usually just sounds like you're bad at all of those things. I can tell you, sir, I'm very mediocre at all of them. We're trying something on the Sweat Equity Podcast where I can kind of do these interviews and bank them a little ahead. I'm trying to work on planning. We're having another baby in October. So I want to kind of get ahead on this and bank some episodes, but not too far in advance, because then sometimes there's just some stuff that you hear people talk about and it's 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and it doesn't sound... It takes me out of other podcasts when people do that. Not a big deal, but it's tough to get into what's going on and what they're talking about that's semi-topical, and then you hear something about the election and you're like, whoa, this is too old. So especially with this is a podcast about kind of like pragmatic advice, but there might be stuff that's kind of timely. Oh, there's this new thing, have you checked this out? I'm kind of obsessed with the Facebook, Instagram canvas ads and their performance. So if I brought that up, it'd be a little strange. But I digress into right at this point in the podcast, we're going to have an advertiser pretty soon. We've got a call this week about it. I'm kind of excited about it, even though, it's going to be one of those promo codes you get. It's like affiliate marketing. You get a little scratch on there if people use the promo code. My big thing is on a marketing side is it's really tough unless it's within the podcast app on the phone. This is my idea to, when you do the ad, you do the live read ad, the ad image pops up on your phone so you can touch it save it for later, because most people are listening to podcasts while they're driving or doing something else. It's passive active listening, I think I heard it called. And there's a big disconnect between the people listening, and you have to do a lot of frequency. I'm sure you've heard like Blue Apron, or you'll hear on other podcasts, you'll hear a lot of frequency. It's a little different than radio too, because I'm in your earbuds, and most people that are listening to a podcast are seeking it out, which is radio you just kind of put on. I put on I quote country station for my baby because he likes it. He goes to sleep. Whatever. If he likes Florida Georgia Line, that's fine, but it ain't country to me. Better get a fiddle. So that's exciting news. I've got a call about that later this week, but even if we get nothing out of the affiliate link for doing the ads, it's a stepping stone for us to get to the bigger advertisers for the show, because I think we got something here, and we're going to mess with video a lot more. I think that's going to be more interesting as I get a big digital dry board, and we can kind of show some stuff. Got a client slacking me. Okay, I'll get back to that after I finish this recording. This is a fun one, even though I didn't know I had the flu. A couple days ago, I was really sick and was like, oh, man, I think I'm just burned out. I feel really bad. And it turns out I had a 103 fever probably, 3 hours after we recorded this. So this is a podcast with my buddies David Arndt and David Weingarten. David Arndt is the brewery consultant, I'll call him. And he came on and brought some beers with him, which wasn't good for my sickness, but fun nonetheless. And him and I, we talk it up all the time about what his industry goes through. I think the brewery explosion is really interesting. It's one of those things where I think we're in the bubble. I don't think he does. I mean, maybe within the United States, but I don't know how it is internationally. Are people opening these up? So we talk about that, and then David Weingarten, a buddy of mine who's a comedian, buddy of mine as well, part of Cigar City Comedy, recently moved to Denver, but he's been working on a side project, and it has to deal with creating a product. And so I thought that'd be kind of interesting. I don't think he wants to give it all away on air because it's still in prototype mode, and I think he probably wants to get talking points down. That's kind of what we're going through, building a site, and here's the brand, here are your talking points, here's the sales angles, here's why you should use it, here's why you should buy it, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's kind of interesting to see him go through trying to figure out 3D printing. Okay, that didn't work. We got to do a mold because the 3D printing's not going to go to scale like you need it. Otherwise, you just be doing one at a time at your house, and it's expensive because the product's not that expensive. So it's kind of interesting to see the process. I don't work with a lot of products from zero to finish, so it's kind of interesting to see on a business perspective. You forget how hard it is to just nail these designs down, nail down what's in your brain, and try to get it out to people. I feel like that's a lot of our value, is to get like a logo. What are you kind of envisioning, and trying to extract that information, and then you turn around and try to tell someone else, like designer, that info. That's one facet of my job. For him, he's had something he kind of made on his own, which I think are always the best ideas. You just go in the garage and make something. It's what you see it on Shark Tank all the time. And so he's going through that process of getting molds and blah, blah, all that stuff. So we kind of get into that in the last 10, 15 minutes, if I remember, although I probably was hallucinating by then. And hit us up if you got any questions. Engage with the podcast. We're going to do a lot more with this. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. If you're an audio nerd, I need to use a program called Leveler. I probably need to stop mumbling so much. Can't help it. I got a tiny mouth and a big forehead. Yeah, ladies. I know. I'm taken, though. So, yeah. Let's get into it.
Of grass, shit, piss.
Yeah.
Is that a little heroin I smell on that too?
Probably, definitely. Remnants of heroin.
Yeah. Heroin, and that's how we bring it in. Yeah, well, we're recording.
The ubiquitous heroin.
Black tar heroin. It's actually it's just.
I guess that's a good question off the bat. You guys done heroin?
No, I haven't. Although, under the right circumstances, absolutely.
Now, we're drinking some fine beer. I guess I should do the radio thing where the listeners need to know your voice if you're not watching it on Facebook or YouTube. David Weingarten, let them hear you.
Hey, how's it going? You can call me Dave.
Dave?
If you'd like.
Okay, but we have another Dave.
That's true. So
Dave Arndt.
I'm always willing to, take the middle seat, and you can just whatever is left over. So if David's left over, I'll go with that.
Bear Jew.
I didn't bring my big wooden bat or aggression. I mean, you put a swastika on your shoulder, you'll see the aggression.
Oh, so should I hide that?
Yeah, I mean, anti-Semitism, we could do that offline.
Well, I was just fucking around on my whiteboard. Like, I'm not really into that much.
You just like pinwheels?
Yeah. Well, it used to be the symbol of peace. The biggest rebrand of all time, I say.
Boy, that is an interesting way to spin that.
I look at logos all day, man.
Hitler was just a marketing whiz.
Well, it literally was like the symbol of peace forever in India, and then just they took it and they're like, nah, man.
We're gonna flip it. Just flip the script.
And then you got to get real close to these mics.
Sorry.
You can pull it out if you want.
I'm not.
He has a diaphragm in his voice. I don't. I have to be really close to him.
And that other voice you're hearing is Dave Arndt. Let him hear you.
Dave Arndt, Rock Brothers Brewing, Ybor City. You spelled my name wrong there.
I know. I'm dyslexic, I think. I think I'm getting dyslexic.
Gotcha.
Dave, your name has too few vowels, though.
Right.
Right? There's a consonant barrage at the end.
Yeah, exactly. ARND as in dog. dog, T as in toad.
I'm not changing it.
Yeah. Or not.
Just because of that.
My personal favorite was the guy that's like, Arndt? I'm like, where's the O in that in any way, shape, or form?
Maybe you're French.
Yeah, exactly. As German French as you can get.
So. Yeah, we wanted to have, I mean, we talked about doing, we'll do it later, but we talked about having the brewery, like, badasses or brewery advisors come on. I consider you a brewery consultant, even though you'll probably low self-esteem it round down to something else.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Totally. I mean, being in the industry 5 years, 6 years does not give you as much credibility as somebody that's been in it 20. But on the brewery standpoint for Florida, I mean, Florida is such a new market for beer on the whole. It's to be said that really anybody that's willing to learn and kind of sit at the feet of better breweries that have gone through the tumultuous times, you can definitely learn a lot from the likes of
Sure.
Some of the bigger guys that are in this area.
Literally the last podcast, we just talked about experience and how that number is not really it's not the number of years. Like, people want to put years,
correct.
and I feel like that's a bad metric almost. Like, I have X amount of years doing this doesn't mean you're good. And I was saying, usually when people say it, like when you first meet someone you're about to hire, I have X amount of experience, that's like top 3 things they're going to say.
You can usually tell how much. I mean,
correct.
How many years of experience in an industry?
Right.
It's a pretty broad way to view it. If you're a brewmaster for X number of years, that has more weight.
Yeah, well, and even that category, it's like, you can work for a shitty brewery and be a brewer for a long time and make shitty beer, and people won't respect you because of that.
Name one shitty beer, like right off the top of your head. What's the shittiest beer? Which one, if somebody handed it to you, would you be like, get the fuck out of my face?
I would say that back in the day, I had a Dixie Lager, which was probably one of the grossest things I'd had. It was just a straight malt bomb. It was absolutely, it wasn't even beer. It was just like hopped flavored soda, and even hop flavored soda now is a popular thing, and that tasted no offense to Dixie, anybody that works at Dixie Brewing Company, but about 5 years ago, there was definitely a malt problem.
Total offense, man.
Oh yeah,
how
totally.
dare they attack your
you
palate
didn't know
like
Dixie
that?
listens to this?
The
there
entire
might be somebody
Confederate
out there, so
They put it on. And,
you're gonna put it in the brew house. They're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Fuck that guy, Dave. We're never coming down to Tampa to collaborate with them in any way, shape, or form."
you never know. Someone could be a dick and send it to him. You get that a lot. That's the only reason a lot of people shit on this podcast.
I will put this disclaimer out that the beer is completely subjective in nature. I mean, it's like wine, it's like cigarettes, it's like cigars, it's like golf, it's like whatever you want to put your own opinion to. There's a beer for every palate, and some people like to drink a lot of shitty watered down beer, but for like the AB and Bev, unfortunately they are the poster child for kind of being the big.
Are you saying Busch Light is watered down? Because you might have to leave.
Hey, I've had a better time with natural ice, all right, than I had with
Nobody can
Busch.
shit on natural ice. I mean, that's coup de grace in terms of like.
You feel your kidney like hurting when you have too much of that.
Actually, I think the only time that I ever had like a major like the worst hangover possible was like just downing like tall boy after tall boy of Rolling Rock. But Plank Road, they've been doing that product for so long that I think they've just put the ingredients in just for liquid headache. As soon as you start drinking it, so.
Not a good ingredient. Yellow number 5, liquid headache.
Liquid nails is not good.
No, not
Liquid
at all.
Ave, that.
Why does it hurt so much? I had 25 of them last night. Oh,
I was trying to think of some questions. I mean, you and I talk off mic all the time about what's going on in your industry. I think, are we in like a 2007 real estate bubble with all these breweries, or have we not hit the kind of the apex of how many breweries are going to pop up? I feel like there's so many around the country now.
Okay, so the Brewers Association has pegged, I think we're up to like 57, 50 or plus breweries throughout the country, with another 1,000 in planning probably for the next year and a half or so.
One more time, what was that number?
I'm gonna go with 5750 was like.
Wow.
But you have to think of it this way: is that the way that the Brewers Association, basically calls saturation is one brewery for every 30,000 people. So if you take that number and bring that down to Florida, I mean, we're like at 279, I think, or 189 plus brew pubs, craft bars, whatever. We're looking at, I think it's still like one brewery per 100,000 people. So, I mean, we're not even close to that saturation. And even in the Tampa market, we're looking at, 82 breweries from Brooksville south to Venice, all the way out to Lakeland. And you still don't see every one of those beers represented well on in the draft boards and bars around the area.
For those not in the area, that's like an hour radius outside.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a sizable area. If you look at the what Pinellas County is, the taint off of the taint that is Florida.
Google it, man.
Yeah.
Look up some taint maps.
Taint, baby.
Yeah.
Just hit the taint view.
Bad
Tampa
enough
Bay.
our whole state looks like a dick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the dick. It's the little skin tag that hangs off of the dick. So
I don't think everybody has that.
Dear God.
Is that what you got?
just
a little skin tag, just leftover foreskin from the moil that just didn't do a thorough job.
Yeah.
I'm not baking donuts.
Wait, I have a question. So you're saying that they're not well represented. Like some breweries are not well represented on taps throughout the state.
Yeah, and that's not to the fault of the brewery, and it's not to the fault of the distributor, and it's just the fact that there's just people that are out there that are just they're loyalists to the products that they like, and they don't want to necessarily venture out and try stuff.
Or it could be like comedy where you just don't take the time to send in your bookings, and so you're not on anybody's draft list.
Yeah, and the reality is that for most breweries, and this is something that I've been a big proponent since I've come on board with Rock Brothers here in Ybor, is that you've got to get out there and hit the pavement no matter what. You can do as much marketing online as you want, but the reality is, like, to get face-to-face coverage with people,
sure,
and to put the product in the hand of a potential, either somebody just at it, like this week alone for me was I did a tasting in an apartment complex where we only had maybe 20, 25 people show up for 2 hours. I was at the Art of Ale down on South Howard for a trivia night with about 58 people to do a tasting. I was at a KB Homes private realtor-only event last night.
You said Katie Homes, isn't Tom?
Yeah, not Katie Homes.
Okay.
They
KB.
Real estate agents drink.
They do, yeah. I mean, and we had a great time just talking about, like where we were in the area, like the proximity to, this is Riverview, so I mean, it's about 30, 40 miles south, east of downtown Tampa. So to be kind of talking about that area and be bringing this product from Ybor down there, I mean, that was a great opportunity to reach these people. So really, at the end of the day, the exposure is more about just putting the can in the hand of somebody in order to try. And the one thing that I always recommend when we do tastings and such is that if you've never had it before, try it, and if you like it, well then go buy it.
I like the fact beer's a big communal type of industry too. I mean, you can't really just have a website and great looking beer cans and expect to sell a product. People will come together to enjoy it. The tastings are important because there's a personal element to it.
What is that cup?
Is
that a chicken soup?
That is my pretty much. It's my go-to water adult sippy cup.
That's some ghetto shit right there. That is like some hood shit.
Did it come with the straw opening, or did you whittle that yourself?
Yeah, that's what the pocket knife was for. So.
God, I want to be trapped in the woods with Dave so he can create soup can water containers.
No, he'll create stuff that's unnecessary. There's a whole sleeve of cups over there, man. You can have 5.
Well, all right. So the deal was I used to carry like the really nice tumbler, 32-ounce tumbler around, and I was like, I would get to the bar, I would fill it up with water, and I would drink 3, 4, 5 of them, and then I'd leave the cup in the car, forget to take inside, wash it out, and so I ended up having like 15, 20 cups in the back of my car, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? It's just leave them at home. So I just randomly grabbed one of those one day, and I was like, well, if I lose it,
maybe that's your thing. I don't know. That should be.
That's been with me for like 3 months now. So I mean, I haven't lost it yet.
It's the perfect size for I have to go to the bathroom and I can't stop. So let me get something to pee in,
exactly,
and not worry about my wang getting in the way.
You look over and your dad's taking a piss while driving. Right. You're like, what?
What's happened?
I thought we were going to Disney World. I just saw dad dick while driving.
Oh man!
Oh, dad dick while driving.
I've got dad dick now. It's great.
Dad bod.
Dad bod to
Hashtag.
match.
Time for a segue.
So breweries to me, like, I the reason I feel like, and I don't have the biggest sample size, but I have been doing a lot of research because we want to start targeting over here. We want to start targeting breweries and distilleries. I feel like there's opportunity for a company like us, a nerd agency, consulting firm, whatever you want to call us, to work with a lot of people that need that help, because I feel like the setup is always, it's 2 or 3 guys, 2, 4, 5, 6 guys maybe at most. And they all want to have a brewery, but like stuff's not delegated out. They don't know how to, they basically have to treat it like a bar. in the beginning before distribution really kicks in?
It's to go from the ground where, excuse me, I'm belching.
I mean, I'd rather not work with a direct startup, but
correct. The way to go about it, I mean, most of these guys they start there's two or three camps. One is that they're home brewers that want to expand and grow their home brews to that next level. One guy usually has to quit his job to do brewing full time, so that way they have product available for a tap room. They get 2 or 3 silent partners to invest, and then they start doing their brewing. The other opportunity is you've got a couple brewers that decide that they want to branch out, so they leave, and they have friends that will invest in them, and then they do grassworks, and then they go to instant distribution. Then there's the level where these guys, they come in with investment money, they hire a brewer to brew a handful of beers for them, and then they basically go to market right away. And they do it, one of two ways. They either go to market with retail already in mind and draft, available. But really the grassroots way of doing it is that first opportunity where it's like two guys that just want to get out from doing their day-to-day work and start working on...
The insufferable guy that makes beer in his garage?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, try my homebrew, man. It's really, really tasty.
No thanks.
Are there licenses and other things you have to obtain in order to be able to produce?
And the joke that I've had, and this has been from since I've really been in behind the scenes in the industry, is that there's the 375 questions that you need to ask yourself about, am I able to do this?
Is that an arbitrary number?
I mean, it's like sure. it's the 370 questions that nobody's asking you, of how to answer. Like, you have to figure them out on your own. And more times than not, most of these guys, like, they'll be sitting at the bar and they'll be like, dude, when I get my homebrew started, my homebrew's really, really good right now. When I get my brewery started, it's going to be freaking, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they have all these listed out things and plans that they're planning on doing. But they don't start thinking about the tangibles like, oh, wait, I have to have a building that's OSHA rated. Do I have a fork truck license, if I need to do that? Have I ever keg washed before? What kind of chemicals am I going to need in my brew house, basically, that are going to require me to have a floor rated, to handle corrosive and acidic materials. You start thinking about the tangibles. What about my insurance? Do I have to have my personal health insurance to work as a brewer? Do I need to insure the building? Do I need to insure in some case somebody slips and falls?
Insure your beard. The beard's very important.
Yeah, I have the ability to grow a beard? And if I do have a spotty beard, do I need to get plugs?
Is it long enough? I don't know. Probably
not. Exactly. And those are the tangibles that people come into the industry not knowing. But the smart guys will go out, do that homework, or go work at a brewery that's been working for a number of years, establish themselves, learn the processes, and then go forward. And the problem with that for a lot of people is that it's hard as a single person to do that. You've got to have a support network that gives you that opportunity. You got to moonlight and do it on the side. A lot of guys, will go and do keg washing on the weekend. Learn the production line at, say a bigger craft brewery where they've got bottling, canning. Really to put themselves in that knowledge sphere of learning. And you've got to be humble. I mean, it's an industry where it's like you're not going to make money on anything. To think that you're going to get sold and bought by AB or Miller Coors or any of these bigger breweries that are investing millions and billions of dollars right now in infrastructure.
Or acquiring.
Right. I mean, if you just think
Google or Alphabet or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, AB's high end, is. I mean, I'm not a huge. I have very, very staunch opinions against AB. It's just something that.
What did they do to you?
They did. They got bought by a foreign company. I mean, come on, man. They
were foreign to begin with.
No, Anheuser-Busch is the oldest oldest American brewery.
Weren't they German first?
No, they were St. Louis, Missouri. So,
I think I know more about beer.
I'm sure.
What's wrong with South America? Are you against it?
I have nothing. My dad was born in Argentina, so.
Well, what the fuck?
I was going to ask you though. I work in the tech realm. I have for like 20 years now, and I work for a startup, and it seems like there's a lot of parallels. People are like, I have some great intellectual property, or I can make a good product, and I'm going to be the best ever, and you're one of 5 million people trying to get a startup going. Same thing with beer.
Well, and you probably see it too, where it's like there's applications that are probably very similar to one another, and that's where like you see these acquisitions being made where similar companies are just merging because their ideas are too like-minded,
Right.
and either one's got a better set of lawyers basically to go after the other, and then they just lawyer up and basically buy each other out. I mean, do you see that on your end? You're like,
well, I don't know about like peers. You would see somebody that poses a threat to another's business or already has a space that they're looking to absorb. It's usually the big guy and the little guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many similar ideas, and it boils down to networking and luck. A lot of it's luck.
Yeah, I mean, luck is probably, I would say, hitting that perfect beer is also another thing. I mean, we're talking about, a lot of people always think it's just it's a product that goes into a can that you drink, just like soda or anything like that. But it's alive. I mean, we're talking about, you take grain, you take hops, you basically boil them together, and then you take a microorganism called yeast and basically make alcohol out of that. So I mean, there's so many. There's like the other part of of beer is QC. People want quality. They don't want crap. Which is going back to the first one talking about.
Will you grab me another yellow hoodie?
Hoodie's homegrown.
Steelers colors, by the way, which is why I'm not having another one. I didn't
Wow.
realize that early on enough.
But you didn't go for the Browns colors ones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, nothing too fancy.
Touche. Yeah, it's kind of orange and black. So
Yeah, I mean,
if it had brown, I'd be.
well, I mean, and again too, it's like the look of this can, is there's a lot of hours that go into this, this development, but the product that goes into it, I mean, this could be. I don't know in particular this how many versions of this beer has been made prior to to what I'm consuming right now with Nothing Too Fancy, but I definitely know that in some cases
It's Humphreys, McGee's.
yes,
Is it 2 apostrophe S's?
No,
Humphreys, McGee's, nothing.
No, Humphreys McGee is the band, and Nothing Too Fancy is the pale ale that they. You get a little microphone problem there.
Yeah.
Little
It's-
ED.
Little-
yeah.
little.
You might have to hold it or
I like how just slowly,
wilted.
just
flaccid mic.
in disgrace. Didn't have enough stamina.
So the thing that I'd say the difference between tech though and trying to compare it to brewery is that the brewery business tech is all about being a disruptor and about finding something to either be a disintermediator or an intermediary that doesn't exist. So like Uber is a disintermediary because it just blew out a bunch of taxi cabs, right?
Right.
And then there's the other ones that create a need, like maybe Postmates was the first of the delivery stuff.
Okay.
That didn't exist. We didn't have a delivery system for everything that they can go pick up 3 different spots for you. You're in Denver.
Yeah, I was
There's
going to bring
weed
that
finders.
up.
Yeah.
Well, there are tons of them. And I was actually, when you talk about craft beer, I was curious, like, what the craft beer's view of the marijuana industry is. They perceive it as a major threat? Are they like, hey, let's all have fun together and make people happy? I mean, I would imagine at a certain point that it would be the kind of similar to the way pharmaceutical companies look at weed as some sort of threat to their consumer base.
I think one of the big things in craft beer right now that's we've been on such an upward trajectory for the last 10, 15 years. I mean, we've been in double digits.
Bubble.
You want to say we always say
No,
bubble. I think it's
fucking-
bubbles in areas. I think you're seeing it. You're seeing it thrive in a major.
It's like a bong bubble. It's a
Yeah,
bunch of-
there you go.
A bunch of little
Exactly.
ones.
I look at it this way: is that there's enough threats to craft beer like already within the liquor industry. I mean, wine is up, craft cocktail, craft small batch distilleries are really doing a job. Not against craft beer, but they're trying to make headway in an area that has been neglected for basically 30 or 40 years. Wine had that big surge in the early 90s with Napa and Sonoma. And that's kind of it took a dive.
Now it's about price, right?
Now it's really about price, but
Under
it's also
$10.
about locality. So where the dispensaries that are happening in Colorado are actually growing on site, I think we're not really going to see that threat, really in Florida. I know in Colorado, it's probably amplifying the beer industry because people are going to go do recreational. They're going to go have a beer and eat some
Do
food.
the combo, huh?
And I think
That's a bold, optimistic move, but
I don't unfortunately
dice.
I know enough people that have moved out there to for the industry, for the craft beer industry, and work in that area, but I've not read anything that has shown or has shown a direct impact towards.
Oh, living out in Denver, there's so many craft breweries out
Yeah,
there. It
and-
doesn't seem to have impacted them.
What goes better with after smoking? You know, like a good craft beer, man.
That's true.
It's
Really, anything wet.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
But
Brian.
I
yes.
got cotton
craft
mouth.
beer.
I need something thirsty.
Right.
Yeah, a fire hydrant will do.
Sure.
But you'll take craft beer.
Yeah.
Well, and like one of the things that the similarities and the irony of you drinking Feeling All Right IPA from Revolution right now is the
Cheers.
opportunity that here's a band that represents, you know, reggae, and, you know, they represent the weed culture. And you know, one of the aspects of their beer was that they wanted to have that resinous, dank smell like that comes from hops. And of course, hops are up at the top of the family tree. You know, cannabis and hops are, you know, very, very similar. So there's a lot of likeness to the products, you know, in that, and I think they complement each other.
Yeah.
You know, to a degree, but I mean, I don't see, and again, I'm going by, you know, stuff that I read on the, you know, through the Brewers Association and a number of the trade magazines, that really have not really shown, you know, too much of that direct impact yet. But I mean, as we start to see the legislation move towards legality.
Well, that's it. The political aspect, I think, is the
So-
big barrier right now because the government really endorses drinking. I mean, it's heavily endorsed, whereas it's the opposite for
And the other
marijuana.
thing,
It's like localized.
I mean, we look at it. We look at it too. Is that, I mean, to be a really good brewer, you have to be a good. You know, you have to have a law mindset. Because of the fact that there's so many laws that change every time. Excuse me, that was a belch.
Yeah, because they got to make the government's like, ooh, shit, we got to make some money.
Well, the biggest thing that's happening right now, and I check the Brewers Association page pretty much every day, but there's they keep a tab on literally every piece of legislation that's working, you know, towards forward or against craft beer on a whole, and they'll do it per state too. So I mean, in state of Florida, we've had some great opportunities to kind of rise above the rest of the, you know, the Southeast in the addition of the growler bill that passed 3 years ago. You know, there's a lot of legislation currently that's helping you know, brewers and tap rooms basically work towards. Now I'm blanking on the most recent one, but I'll send you the link.
Okay.
That'll kind of showcase what the bills are that are going to be going into legislation in Florida in particular.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they all
Read
benefit.
off the bill.
Jeez, what a party.
Section A,
Yeah.
number 1.
That's what you read first thing in the morning?
I don't read it first thing in the morning. It's kind of like just, I kind of get sucked into it, and then I'm like, oh god, this is really boring. But like, oh, it's
No,
interesting.
that's good for you. I mean, you're keeping up. You don't have to. No one's making you.
And again, like I in our relationship as friends, like we've known each other for what, 4 or 5 years now,
Yeah.
and like I've just been a student of this industry as best as you can, like without having to go to school to become
Sure.
a brewer. You know, you really have to do a lot of self-education and self-knowledge, and the stuff that you don't think about. You know, those again, going back to that 375 questions, like. You know, once you kind of read something that puts it in your mind, all right, crap, you know, now this is something I have to start thinking about because I'm getting to this stage in XYZ format for the company that I'm currently
Well,
working
also
for.
too, I mean, you mentioned it's such a competitive industry.
Mm-hmm.
The intellectual edge, or just having like cognizance of the industry and legislation, that gives you an edge. you know?
Correct. Yeah, and I mean, now in the tech industry, you see it, you know, with classwork and, you know, and going back to school and doing the education part. I mean, how much of your time is spent, you know, kind of like learning new techniques within your industry?
Well, I and Law knows this, and actually, we used to work together.
Yeah.
But I've been working with SQL Server. It's a relational database management system. Exactly. But yeah, I've been doing it for like 20 years. So every couple of years, they have a new release of the major product, and so I'm constantly like learning the advancements and things that have been deprecated and how it fits into the infrastructure and all these buzzwords and stuff.
Yeah.
But if I don't do that, then I start to make myself obsolete.
Yeah.
It's like COBOL programmers that never learned a new language. It's like, dude, you were great
Totally,
once.
totally.
And if we have a catastrophe and the only system left is COBOL, then you are in a prime position. But otherwise, you should have fucking got off your ass and did a little professional
Hard
education.
slam on COBOL on this podcast. Wow.
You're 20 years overdue
No punches pulled.
for some professional development.
Why my brain is just triggered?
I cuss too. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just want to make. I haven't heard
This is
anybody
my
else cuss.
podcast. This is my podcast.
My
yeah.
podcast.
I brought up a skin tag on a dick. Okay.
You
Yeah.
did say dick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Making sure.
No, I'm just what you just triggered something in my mind that there's, I guess NASA is having problems with like the 1970s satellites that are out in space, like that they don't have coders anymore to basically program and send messages to these things.
Unemployed rocket scientists.
Yeah, exactly. They're like 80 years old. They're like, AARP and
Yeah.
But there was an article basically talking about how that even understanding old language, computer language, is still necessary for the technology that's still around, that's still working.
You're like an archaeologist that can read Sanskrit. It's like, okay, cool, we'll call you if we need you, but probably not.
Very narrow market. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting because when he said that, because there are, we see it in the brewing industry. It's like nobody's making, the Rap Brewing over in Largo is known for making like obscure German styles that have been dead for, probably 800 years. And he's resurrecting these recipes because people, number one, they want to know how to make it, and they're just finding recipes that that nobody has tried before. And so to have that, it's the same thing. It's like does this have a market? No, it doesn't. But it's it's a fun boutique beer to try. So why not do it?
Yeah.
Weingarten, you are going through the process of trying your own, like the aforementioned beer nerd making his own side product after work in the garage.
Yeah.
I just called you a beer nerd.
I'll accept the nerd.
You're making something that is a tangible product, because I feel like everybody I talk to that's trying to do something on the side is like either a service or some kind of app or something like that, which technically there's a digital property to it, but not really. I mean, I want something tangible, and you're going through the process. It's interesting to hear that you're making prototypes and going through 3D printers and all that stuff. What's going on with that? What do you anything you've learned while doing it?
Yeah. I had to kind of like dedicate my focus outside of work to the process, because you know how like ADHD, I'm all over the place. So I had to buckle down and manage both my time and my Adderall resources appropriately to stay on task. But no, the product I have, and I won't get into specifics, it's called the Mustash. You and I are going to be trying to figure out some good marketing strategies and stuff. But it's basically a personal accessory. I'll be very broad, very high level. Personal accessory that I think would be really a good tool for guys that don't carry purses or fanny packs to kind of consolidate the things that might be in their pocket they might be using in a social capacity. So very broad. Be on the lookout for Mustash. I'll harp law about plugging it once it's actually come to fruition.
This will go out next week, so you've got some lead time.
So bottom line is, I had to go through the process of obviously figuring out whether my product idea was relevant, finding a person to design it, using 3D CAD and the other tools. And then we're doing silicone molds with a certain type of plastic, which could escalate into an injection mold, but you're talking about a price gap of thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars. So the process I've been through so far has taken me to the point where I can do silicone molding with suitable molds for plastic, but not like high volume, with 100% like defectless end result.
Yeah, and it may start out as figuring out how to do it at home, or at your current current designer's place.
Now, are you doing like working with tool and die guys, or are you just going straight from like plastic manufacturers that are basically kind of giving you this is the process, we'll do a 3D, because coming from a design-oriented family, like having that background and knowing like that, there's always the tinkerer, that's going to weld, a couple screws together to kind of get the motion going and add some, rubber bands, literally to I've seen my old man actually use rubber bands like on something.
Yeah.
And then, made an actual design CAD piece that will then obviously do the function that he intended to do.
Well, I tried some plastic welding, and I was using a soldering iron and some butane torches and stuff. Yeah. And it just didn't look good. And there was no way I could take that out and be like, hey, look at my idea. It looks like shit, but it works. Trust me. That's not a good way to like intro your product. So the guy I have now, he's fluent with, like I said, the molds and things where you can create a repeatable product.
Yeah.
That's my big thing, is I don't want every product to look different. It's not a piece of art.
Yeah.
So having a mold that's repeatable, and ultimately, if I can get the interest I want, getting to the injection level where it's 100% repeatable, That's a process where there's really no defined outline. You kind of have to figure it out. And the guy I'm working with now, his company is the Denver 3D Print Company.
Shout out.
He's really he's adept at this stuff. He understands patents and other things that can help me. But if I hadn't have found him, I'd still probably be kind of lost as to what the process and the sequence.
Yeah, I'm always interested, like, in how when you stage a product like that, the whole process, like going from the proprietary knowledge, and then how much time and money basically goes into that patent and copyright, and then eventual trademark, and then looking at the product across the board, who else is out there actually trying to do the same or similar, and trying to do that, go around or again, what we were talking about before, merging, it's like, are you like-minded enough in companies to where you could actually work together without losing the edge that you had in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting to the stage where we're going to start getting as far ahead on the branding, marketing stuff, and that's exciting. That's the fun stuff.
It has been fun. It's been a good learning experience and understanding my limitations as a creative mind. But
that
it's
honestly
good.
Is one of the best
the
things you get out of that. Know what you know. It's one of those things where you want to be you think about it as the entrepreneur. You want to do everything, and it's like, okay, I'm about a 2 in the design area. I need to figure that out with someone else.
Right.
So. Anything else you can tell? I don't know what questions to ask, what's kosher or not.
Yeah, we're still in the process. We're still gathering the intellectual property to submit for a patent. So at that level, obviously I'm a little bit protective of the intellectual property, but it's
a cigar cutter for your dick, guys.
Yeah, if you don't need your dick, like if you just need part of your dick.
If you have a little foreskin
right.
that's hanging off.
Like I said, the moil he wasn't thorough, and he left a little bit behind.
He sucked on it, but not all the way. Right? Isn't that the thing?
I can't top that. You win.
No, that happened.
I think
herpes was spreading.
That was either like an early myth or...
No way.
You think there was actual sucking at one point?
Yeah, man.
I think that's a myth.
I don't care to research it, but
well, religion has been tied to sucking baby dicks. So
right.
I mean, Judaism has abstained, as far as I know, but maybe ancient Jews had a hankering for baby dick.
I don't know, man.
Ancient bearded Jews have to be bearded. A moil has to have a long, unkept beard. And if he likes baby dick,
I'm just gonna let you go.
Hey, if he happens to like
you
baby
run
dick,
steam, and
I'm just riffing in a horrible direction.
I don't want to.
Just keeps getting lowered. And if he has a baby dick,
just back alley tangent riffing.
All right, we'll get back to breweries instead of Weingarten's baby dick. What was the company's a baby dick factory?
Baby, well, not just baby dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's our
genitalia.
flagship product.
Right.
But yeah, so it's in its infancy, and I want to let it get a little more formal before I give too many specifics. However,
where did they see my baby dick? Where did they see my?
Yeah,
that whisper
baby
song?
Doesn't describe the size.
Yeah.
Just the level of experience.
Girth matters.
Just
yeah.
the level of
experience. That old dick.
What would you say is like your time frame for like from where like how many months have you already been in like kind of in this production or process mode?
So I'd say the initial 3D design that I got was about 5 months ago, and I was working with that original company to try to do the prototypes and everything. But it's real sketchy because there was no intimate relationship.
Yeah.
And that's really not how you want to go about getting your product established, because there's so much of a gap and uncertainty and no buy-in whatsoever because they're completely unbiased. So until I found this guy a few months ago, I was dealing with that impersonal sort of relationship.
Yeah.
And so he's taken an interest, and we really understand like my vision. And so things have materialized much more quickly in the past few months.
Yeah.
So now I think we're like in the latter phases to be able to actually produce the product, and then I have to go hustle and just make sure I establish market interest. So the rest of it's on me.
Guy?
He had a sign in the bathroom. I was taking a piss, which I do very often. I have a going problem, and so I was in the bathroom, and he had one of those
like above the condom dispenser.
Didn't have a condom dispenser. That would have been amazing, by the way.
This is Spanish fly.
Easy, Cosby. So right above the urinal, there was a poster for the 3D Print Company, and I was like, "Holy shit!
That is
holy shit!
That is awesome."
Yeah, no, good dude. Yeah. So we're rolling.
That is, I mean, out of all the things that I would say that you put money towards, like in marketing or advertisement, like that is like, no offense to him, That is the last place that I would ever try and advertise. No, and I mean,
you couldn't tell him any. He would be like, well. Prove me wrong. I already got it.
Hey, look. I mean, to be honest, like with the success of that, I would, I'll be putting. I'm going to go out and buy Rock Brothers.
Just brand urinal cakes, dude. Then you don't even have to look up. You can just be looking at your dick, and beyond your dick, there's your logo right there on the urinal cake. Just beyond your dick, just beyond the tip, which might still be remnants from your circumcision, depending on the moil.
Depending on the moil. Yeah, I'm gonna make beer shaped. I'm gonna make Rock Brothers beer urinal cakes. So it just always smells like beer and piss in there.
Well, fucking A.
Oh, delightful. Smells like Orlando.
Ooh.
Yeah, dig. Fuck you, Orlando. We're gonna close this out because I've got to do dad stuff pretty soon. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be more of a hang for a while, but. Dad bod calls. Anything you see about the industry, brewery wise, in the future? Anything you wanted to bring up that I didn't ask you?
I think really the next trend that's happening, and we're seeing it kind of fall apart a little bit with Drizzly. Not to say that
I don't like Drizzly that much,
but I'm just saying.
Wait, what is that?
Drizzly is they are a delivery service for libations.
Except ABC Liquors owns them.
So you
looks,
hate them?
No, it just looks like an app that it's its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's owned by ABC.
And this is and again, we work heavily with ABC, and we've been trying to. I've definitely established a relationship with Drizzly to try and be a part of it. But I think that there are a lot of restrictions currently to that that won't make that industry very achievable. But I do see that online beer sales, online liquor sales, and just online delivery services in general that are predicated to adult beverages basically will kind of take that next evolution step, especially with Amazon taking over groceries. You see Publix doing
everything.
Yeah, I mean, I really see that there's an area for improvement on that, and
sure.
I mean, thankfully it started. Thankfully Drizzly has been a success story. And not something that we're just like, oh, it's a blot, it's past its due. But I think that there is definitely a room for improvement for that. And then as we start to see wholesalers, we work with a number of wholesalers throughout the state of Florida. As we see kind of more of a movement from mass wholesalers that control maybe 15, over 200 brands, kind of move more towards the independent market, where guys only really control 6 to 8 brands. We're going to start to see a lot more of that online availability become online ordering. You run your bar. You can basically type in your order. That delivery comes, at your convenience, not as a regular schedule.
It all boils down to people not wanting to leave the house.
I know.
So anytime you can serve that agenda,
yeah, I don't want to put pants on today.
The only thing that sucks about Drizzly is it doesn't have the tracker, the tracker of the driver.
Yeah,
it's like
really.
Yeah,
so they just show up whenever they show up.
That's like the best feature of, if you really think about Uber Eats and all that stuff. That's the best feature because I don't know. It's just. I did it. I used it.
You can see when they're going to pick up your food.
I know. It sounds like I'm a huge alcoholic.
Also,
it's like, God damn it, where is this booze?
Well, dude, if you order the beer for a group, the only thing anybody cares about is when the beer gets there. And if you order, you're responsible. So you need to have some accountability.
I'll give you a scenario. You've been to my house. We've got dogs, right? If I know people are coming to the door, I got to move them to the back because they're going to freak out. And then I had the baby asleep because I'm a good dad. I ordered booze while I was watching him on a Saturday night.
Because the kid drank the last of the booze.
Oh God, don't! I had to watch the window like I was Nicolas Cage and Leaving Las Vegas. Like, oh, I can't wait. I'm a prickly pear. I can't wait to get some Tito's. And it's just and the packaging that always bums me out. If you're Drizzly, which is really owned by ABC. Put a little money into the pack. I know you're a packaging guy. Put a little bit of money into the delivery of that, and that will create more of an experience. Yeah.
Well, and again, I think those are all the points that that are being led to. It's like you've got to start somewhere. You've got to do it. You got to fall off the bike before you can learn to ride.
They didn't answer all 370 questions. Exactly. Down to. There are a few questions left as remainders.
A lot of questions. I mean, and again, that's been the joke for a long time. Is that are you asking every question? Are you coming at it And one of my favorites, and this is not to put a dig on World of Beer, but World of Beer has had a loyalty app for a number of about 5 years or so, and they literally did a full 180-degree facelift on the whole app, and it pissed everybody off. And
why?
Because of the fact that it changed. I mean, really,
It's change.
Oh, I mean, it's not just the change. It's just that they went in a direction that they didn't ask anybody. They didn't ask any fans or loyal people that have been a part of the organization, part of that, going to that, restaurant or bar for 5, 6, 7 years to give them input as to what they wanted, out of the app. It's not to say that users need to have an intrinsic aspect, to the design of something, but
no,
fucking
UX UI guys sometimes are just fucking idiots.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
they don't know the market.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but like, as you're going through your patent process, like, you're talking to friends, you're talking to people that are going to eventually use your product, like, that you want to engage them at some level or another.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lack of social awareness could definitely be your demise.
Exactly.
I mean, now they are Steelers colors. Again, Pittsburgh Steelers colors, if you're a new company trying to brand yourself, stay away from black and yellow. I don't care what Wiz said. It doesn't matter.
Hates Wiz Khalifa.
Brown and orange. If you have a chance, brown and orange.
Those great colors.
It's the way of the future. Only 7 more years. 7.5 more years until the Browns win their first Super Bowl. So gives you plenty of time to let those colors burn in.
I thought that was...
Timestamp it now.
2025.
Weingarten breaking it.
I've been prognosticating for the past 3 or 4 years. Once I felt as if they were like 3 or 4 regime changes away from a Super Bowl, I started the clock.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So.
2025. Calendars.
Well, thank y'all for doing this. Sorry we had to cut it off a little bit, but there's always more pod.
I really enjoy it. Obviously.
Yeah. Popped your cherry. Is this your first podcast?
No, actually.
You did his. Okay.
Did the Frightened Deer, baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where is it?
It's on hiatus indefinitely.
There's a big fight tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, hey, if anyone wants to call and talk to me, email Law. He'll give you a number. He'll give you Jimmy Butler's cell phone number.
There you go. That works. What do you think? Or give me fight predictions.
I got Cormier. I think John Jones has been away for too long, and really? Daniel Cormier, he's a monster. Nobody gives him credit because he's pudgy and he's 38, but dude is a mental monster when it comes to fighting.
John Jones is like one of the best athletes to ever live.
Physically, like the best physically like oriented fighter ever, and he's awesome. But you can't be away from the fight game for as long as he has and come back pristine. He had really no warm up fights going into this, so we'll see what happens. But you also got Cyborg fighting for the female featherweight championship. She'll win easily. You got Robbie Lawler and Donald Cerrone, which is going to be an amazing fight. And then Damian Maia, Tyron Woodley. I got Damian Maia. I think he's due for his championship.
I got Tyron Woodley. Who is it?
Tyron Woodley. I think jiu-jitsu trumps brute strength and skill because it should be fun though.
Crazy beats.
I don't know. Well, I mean, this is dating me. For my first MMA was the Hoist Gracie Matt Hughes fight, and you had jiu-jitsu against power.
That was late Hoist Gracie, though.
Very, very late Hoist Gracie. And, I mean, I've been out of the MMA, reading and, keeping up with it. But, I mean, you look at that pedigree, and it just always, come on, just get him to the ground.
You got to be lucky, too, because you can't even take one strong punch. Usually, you're just biding your time to get them to the ground. So that's the key. You got to fight the initial barrage so you can get to your game.
All right. Well, ended on UFC talk. I didn't think we were going to go there. Thanks for listening. Peace. Browns 2020.